And just think about 2013, right? We won our last Premier League in 2013. Up till now, and aside from the Carling and the Community Shield, that is not a trophy, we've won 5 trophies from 2013 to now. But I know it's not enough, right? Because we are literally very hungry with our approach to seeing how trophies will work for us. But we've won 5 trophies, better than some teams that are in the top 4. They're in the top 4 right now. The likes of Arsenal and Tottenham.
Use your chest and name Arsenal.
The likes of Arsenal and Tottenham, like they haven't come that close. I think Chelsea is way better off because Chelsea has won the Premier League and also the Champions League within that period, right? So it's a long-term approach to this, and hopefully, and like it's also a cultural thing, right? We just need to change the mindset, players, and hopefully we could get back into.
Albert, can I add something to what you just said now?
Yes.
So everything you said, I agree with everything you said. The only part that I find a bit disingenuous is the part you talked about Wan-Bissaka. Now, people might see me as someone that likes to banter, which is very true, but I also like to be factual with things. Now, Wan-Bissaka in Crystal Palace was never known for his attacking football. Never. We all knew him for his slide tackle, his spider beast tackles, his last ditch tackles and things like that. That's what we knew Wan-Bissaka for. Now, was United expecting Wan-Bissaka to come to United and turn to Trent Alexander-Arnold? I don't understand that part. Now, you bought a very good slider. You bought a very good 1v1 defender. And that is what he was, and that is what he is. Chances are that is what he will continue to be till he retires. So why don't you use him the way he is? Why don't you accept him for who he was from when you bought him till now? It's like trying to judge Trent Alexander-Arnold and you're like, oh, he doesn't know how to defend. Well, since when he started football, he was never known for defending. He has always been a very good creative, inverted defender per se. But looking at him to think he's going to be a good defender, it's never going to happen. Same thing too with Chelsea, with this useless guy. What's his name again? Jackson, right? Jackson's average last season is pretty much his average this season. Yes, of course, as a Chelsea fan, I'm upset that he had a lot of big chances that he missed, right? But at the end of the day, you see that these things find a way to match themselves. Stop thinking of players of how they can be in the future. Accept them with the way they were when you bought them. Accept them with what they are giving to you right now. If they develop and, change their game later on, fine, that's all well and good. But chances are the person that you bought is going to be the same person you bought going forward. There's not going to be a change. Same thing with Jackson, same thing with Højlund. All these things that people are talking about, he's young and he might progress. All of that one is all based on potential. As we all know, potential is something that might happen or might not happen. So accept the people the way they are. If you bought someone as a scrap, accept him is going to be a scrap in the future. If you bought him as someone that scores 10 goals a season and he's scoring 10 goals for you now, well, don't just imagine, by when he's going to be 25, 26, he's going to score 30. 30 from where? How? You get the way people are, work with them the way they are, accept them for who they are, and proceed from there. That's just my belief about football. All this issue about potential, or he's not like that. You knew the way he was when you bought him. You can't go and be expecting 30 goals or 40 goals from someone who has been scoring 10 goals every season, and you're not angry that he's not scoring 30 goals. It doesn't happen that way. You get that's just my point.
Do you guys think that Haaland is among the top 5 strikers in the EPL?
Top 5.
Haaland, yeah.
Yeah, let's be serious.
You have to joke about it. I think with stats, with the last Premier League stats, right? You can see in the top 5 are literally the top highest goal scorers. So it's not a matter of
forget stats, just your knowledge of football, like top 5 best strikers in the league. Do you think Haaland is one of them? I don't think so.
No, I don't think so.
Let me rephrase that question. To the Manchester United fans here, Højlund or Darwin Núñez?
Darwin Núñez.
No, is that a joke? Is that a joke or is it a real question?
It's a real question. Answer now.
no, of course, it's actually a no-brainer for me. I don't know if it is for others. Of course, it's Højlund. There's no way I'm taking Darwin Núñez. And let me explain why I'm taking why I'll take Højlund over Darwin Núñez. I've seen Núñez take shots. I've seen him take shots from clear goal scoring opportunities, positions. And I've seen where those shots ended. Well, not all of them, because of course you can see on the screen he scored 20 goals and assists. He had 20 goals and assists as at game 27. But I have seen outrageous things. I haven't seen those from Højlund. The difference for me is I haven't seen enough shots from Højlund. He gets into good positions. He doesn't get the ball. But when he takes shots, many a times it comes off. So I would 100% go for Højlund over Darwin Núñez.
I honestly think any manager would take Darwin Núñez over Højlund. Not because of their goals, but because of if you're a defender going against Núñez, you will never have peace of mind. You can never have peace of mind.
Exactly.
He's useless, but he's not going to allow you rest. And that is Darwin Núñez. But Højlund robs vanishing spree in games now. There are many games you'll be wondering if Højlund is in the team or not. You get, so you can't even compare. Like, let's even forget goals. Let's look at impact. In terms of impact, Darwin Núñez will not allow you rest. You can never have a good. You cannot just rest with Darwin Núñez. He will be useless. He will also make you useless as defender. So Højlund is nowhere near Darwin Núñez in terms of influence. But for picking, no, I don't know who I'm going to pick because both of them are as good as useless to me. They are who they are.
So you have to pick one. You have to pick one. And I'm surprised that people are actually taking Núñez over Højlund. Really, I understand that he's a menace. He disturbs you. You do not rest throughout the course of the game. You're checking left and right. But what value is that to the team when he gets into the position, he gets the ball, and he does nothing?
It's valuable. It's very, very valuable if you have players around a Núñez that can actually finish. Right,
but Liverpool has players that can finish around Núñez.
Who are who?
Núñez is 25, Holland is 21. So first of all, comparing them says a lot. It says a lot about Núñez. For you to compare a 25-year-old that should be hitting his peak and that can still finish to a 21-year-old that is upcoming. Núñez plays one of the most attacking sides in the league. He has 18 goals all season. Holland plays one of the most useless sides this season. He has 16 goals. That tells you all you need to know.
That's the issue. You're still judging them.
Núñez has more than double the chances Højlund had this season and only scored 2 goals more than Højlund. So that's already. As a coach, do you want somebody that gives defenders sleepless nights or someone that scores to win you games? Which one do you want as a coach?
Based on stats. You just need to watch the game.
I'm telling you know the truth. Based on the teams they play for, if Højlund is in Liverpool and plays the games that Núñez has played, you score at least 25 goals this season.
My brother.
Which might even make Liverpool win.
Højlund was in Atlanta. Atlanta was playing over 2.5 per game.
He was not a starter in Atlanta. He was not a starter in Atlanta now. So if Højlund plays this.
If Højlund plays what?
If Højlund is in Liverpool and has the number of chances Núñez wastes, do you think he will score 16 goals? Núñez in Liverpool had 18 goals this season.
Not get enough chances.
What do you say?
See, players are who they are. They are who
they are.
No,
players are not who they are. Players become who they are. You keep saying this thing. Nobody buys a 20 or 21-year-old expecting them to be who they are. Do you think Chelsea bought the likes of Enzo and Modric because of the 2-3 goals Enzo scores or Modric scores in Ukraine? No, you expect young players to grow. If you buy a 27-year-old, for example,
so you really believe with everything you've seen Højlund play, he's going to be a 30-goal striker? This same Højlund.
Yeah, why not in 5 years? Why not in 5 years? Why not in 5 years? When Madrid bought Vinicius, do they think Vinicius will be that useless at 19 as he is today? You know, when you buy players, young players, it's that way. When you buy young players,
for every Vinicius, there are 20 Højlund that never met potential. You cannot be using potential.
I don't use Højlund as an example yet because he's still 21 and he has 16 goals.
What's his potential?
He has 16 goals in his first season. So I don't understand this Højlund as a bad example. You understand? So if you have, you understand what I'm saying? How Højlund is not a bad example, given all the factors in mind this season.
I'm just telling you that.
Let's douse the tension a little bit. So if you look at Man U this season, Højlund and Bruno are the joint top scorers for United. So, as an individual player within a dysfunctional team, it shows that to some level he's playing his own part. So, let's cut him a little slack just because of the dysfunctionality that we experience, we witness within United side. Yes, there's potential and there's reality. He has potential, we can see. Will he actualize it? That's where the question is. So let's cut him a little bit of slack here and there. He still was influential in United season compared to the rest of all those guys.
Yeah, but even like if like the comparison between Nunes and Højlund, I think if you even take a step back to and go to the Liverpool camp and ask Liverpool fans who they trust over the likes of the Jota or Nunes, definitely I believe they will go for Jota because like they know that Nunes.
That's a different story. We're talking about Højlund and Nunes here. Leave Jota. Jota is in a different class. But just look at the stats on the screen. Just look at Højlund. Lincoln, what do you have to say about the stats?
Like I said, right? I can't see this. Okay, let me increase mine because I'm using my phone. Let me slant it. Well, the end justifies the means. You understand what I'm saying? You have to factor in the teams they play for, the style of these teams, and the total output of these players. This same Isak, people are shouting about now. Go and look at Isak's game 4 years ago when he was 21. You could see the potential, but the output was not there. Of course, you factor in the team too he was playing for. But you could see Isak in a good team growing at this potential. Who he is today, especially if he stayed free from injury, because he also battled injuries at his younger age. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. Newcastle by Isak, expecting to score 10 or 11 goals, was scoring in Sociedad per season. They could see the potential in this boy. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. You don't buy a 20 or 21-year-old expecting them to remain the same. For God's sake, they are professionals. The strikers peak at like 27, 28. So you invest young to enjoy them when they peak now. You see, people are now bringing on $100 million plus.
I can't seem to hear Lincoln again. Is that just me?
I think he cut out.
Yeah, I think we lost him.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, so as I was saying, you have to look at age, look at different factors, the teams they are playing for while you judge these strikers. And judging a 21-year-old this harshly and saying players are who they are, guy, I'm hearing that for the first time in my life watching football. This is the first time I'm hearing that, you buy a player at 21, he is who he is. Damn, there are many examples in this world. Of course, there are examples that goes both ways. But what I say, they will rarely remain the same. Most times they go worse, but few times they get better. So players are rarely who they are at 2021. Nobody in the world is who they are at that age.
Glad you said that most times they go worse.
Yes, of course, I have to be realistic. That is life for you. But as a fan of the club, I expect him to even do better. Garnacho, at the same time, I also saw some people criticizing Garnacho. For God's sake, he's 19. Inconsistency is one of the main things you expect from young players. And Garnacho was overused this season. Nobody uses a 19-year-old the way you use Garnacho. And if you notice, Garnacho started gassing out around February towards the
Is it just me?
I think we lost Lincoln.
Oh, okay.
We lost him again.
So I'm sorry, guys. I'm done. I let the allow other people talk. I hope you can hear me now.
Okay. Yeah. So well,
the whole Rasmus not going to meet potential, or let's not look at potential, is, I think, it's not an argument we should really take up per se. So I'll give a brief example. So we have the likes of Camavinga, Tchouaméni that Real Madrid signed. Within United, you have currently Kobe Mainoo and how good he is at 18 and how much better we expect him to be when he's, say, 25. So there's always the argument of potential when you look at young players. You can't, the only way to judge, let me not say the only way, But the best way to judge young players is, okay, you see either there are some attributes you see within them that shows you that if they can add other elements to their game, they would make a well-rounded player. I'll give the the examples that we've laughed at over the course of the conversation. So I'll start with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka, when United signed him, of course, everyone knew this guy is a great defender, 1v1. No one is getting past him. Well, very few people get past him. But in terms of attacking output, going forward, crosses and assists and whatnot, he didn't have elements of that in his game. There was the argument that when he started playing out as a winger, and I struggle to believe that was actually the case. But still, you sign a 21-year-old, you expect that over the next 2-3 seasons, you should be able to add one or two other elements to his game. You project based on that. He's already good at this. If we can train him, coach him through these other elements, and he can add them to his game, he would be a beast of a player. And that's the argument we're bringing back down to the likes of Garnacho, Højlund, Mainu. And I expect that would be the case with all young players. Nunez is not really a young player. So he's young. I'm older than him, so he's young. Let me just change that. He's not a youngster in football terms. So he's not 19, 21 or the likes. So he's closer to his prime than a Rasmus Højlund. And we still do not see that composure that we expect from strikers as they approach their prime. Yes, he can still add it to his game. And I see Niniola making that argument. Yes, he could still add it. And it would not remove the physical attributes he currently has, which already makes him a dangerous player anytime, any day. So if he adds that to his team, which is still a projection that we're doing, to his play rather, which is still a projection we are doing based on if he can do this, the potential is over the roof. So I think Højlund also has areas that he needs to improve on. And if he adds that as he progresses through the years in his game, then he's someone that we can definitely have in the same conversation with best strikers within the league. The question is if.
Yeah, Chooks, my question to you and other United fans on the group is, are you comfortable going into the next season with Højlund as your main striker?
Can I chime in on something? Can I say something?
Yeah, please go ahead.
This conversation, I don't know. Maybe what I would say might rattle people, but it's just my opinion anyway. And I feel like it's something common with United fans. No offense, but like Højlund scored 9 goals, right, for Atalanta in the league before you guys signed him. So what I always ask myself is, what was the rationale for signing this guy? Basically, to me, it's more like money saving anyway, because he's earning how much? 80K. They signed him for 72 million after selling people who are earning over 200 and something K. So, but you sign this guy, okay. If he was like a backup striker or something, it's a different case entirely. It's not like you signed another striker, let me say a very prolific striker, of which United can get, seeing as they have the money to do it. They signed this guy as the face of the focal striker, the main striker, someone who scored 9 goals in his previous season. So is it that there is this magic that was expected that, from a player that scored 9 goals in his previous season, he should just jump up to like 30 goals in the next season? Because it feels like magic and it's an unrealistic expectation, in my opinion. And this mindset, I call it excuse, is that a player didn't do well. Instead of it to talk about the player that he didn't do well in this season, you're trying to say, he's going to grow, he's going to do... This is what my United fans did for Martial. How many seasons did that fraud spend in your club? Like 9 seasons, right? He's going to do this, nothing. He didn't do anything. Players keep getting... And this is common. Players get a lot of time in United. A player is not playing well, and the fans keep supporting them. They're going to get better the next season. They're going to get better the next season. Till now, people are still defending Rashford. He's going to do well the next season. He's going to. I promise you, next season, we're still going to say the same time. Hold on. It's a United issue. Big players are scapegoated. Young players who don't earn anything, they're the ones who are defended. Players who come from the academy, they're the ones who are more protected. then when you buy players who are big, they're the ones who are criticized. If you look at how it has been happening, that's how it has been. The ones who earn the most are mostly criticized. The ones who earn barely nothing are defended. And are, supported by the media, by the fans. Oh, give them time. And with that time, that's how they went 5 seasons trophyless. But give them time. Like, I just feel like if players are not performing well, fans should criticize because you want to win. You don't want to just stay there and be waiting, keep waiting for one miracle time when the players will gradually improve. We've seen other young players come into a team and immediately they showed impact. How old is Bellingham? Immediately he went to Madrid, his impact showed. No excuses, no give him time, no give him patience. Mbappe, when he did what he did in Monaco, how old was he? These are players that are still dominating the game. They didn't need any excuse. They didn't need any patience. They didn't need any nonsense, media nonsense, this thing. Just come in and get business done. So that's just my own. All these things about patience, he's still young, to me, is excuses. Players perform. We've seen young players perform. Even Saka, though not like he has won anything, but he performed at a young age for Arsenal. He was 19 when he was dominating in the league. Yes, he performed, which made him talk about. Foden himself perform as well. He was young, he performed. These are young players that performed for their clubs. That's my point. So I just feel most of the talk is just excuses to me. He hasn't done anything to warrant all this. He hasn't done anything in his career. He left and Atalanta won the Euros, won the Europa League. He left Atalanta and they got better. So anyway, that's my point, Sha.
But sorry, I'm coming in again. But your point, these same players you have mentioned, right? Bellingham at Madrid. Why didn't you mention Vinicius at Madrid as well? Right. So imagine saying Vinicius is useless at 19, he's useless, he will be listed this way. Let's discard him, let's not give him a chance. You understand? This Foden you are mentioning at 19, look at Foden stats at 19. He was in a well-oiled, functioning team. He used to come in, play 20, 15 minutes. Of course, there's no pressure on him. But when you bring in a 19-year-old, he plays 50 matches all through the season. Of course, what do you expect? So when we should have more nuanced conversation and not just compare apples, let's compare apples with apples here. Foden at 19 was playing 25, 26 games per season. Garnacho at 19 is playing 50 games per season. In a dysfunctional team, Foden was in a championship winning team. So what do you expect from both players? And Foden's output is not even half of what Garnacho's output is now. So you should, compare these things properly when you compare them and, give these guys grace. And of course, you can't expect me to criticize somebody earning 300,000 on a job. With somebody earning 30,000 on a job the same way. I expect that person earning 300,000 for God's sake. You should be the leader. They should learn from you. If you are playing rubbish, I'll criticize you more than the young man earning 30K. That's how life is, unfortunately. So that's all I have to say.
Can I ask you one question?
Yes, please. Yes, please.
Do you feel, just an opinion, do you feel that your club should have signed better players? Do you think
what do you mean?
Signed so far?
Of course. With where we are, we should have signed better players. So that is an obvious question. With where we are, we should have signed better players. It's obvious. But at the same time, guys like Garnacho and Højlund, we should give them room to grow and build around people like Garnacho, Højlund, Maino for the future. While we buy talent to support them, not discard and criticize them at this young age. That's my point.
No offense. I have another question. How much time do you give these players before you start criticizing them?
For God's sake, at least if I will give you 2 to 3 seasons in the first team before I start criticizing you if you are less than 21. But at that point, of course, if Højlund comes next season and gives me 16 goals again, I'm expecting 25 goals from him. Next season, I'm expecting 25 goals minimum. If he does less, of course, I'll criticize him.
Look, how many seasons did you give Modric, I beg?
Modric.
That's what I was saying.
This is Modric's. This is his second season. What has he done in his second season? What has Modric done in his second season at Chelsea? Please explain. What has he done?
2 to 3
What has Modric done in his second season at Chelsea? Compare Modric to Garnacho. Modric is older. Compare him to Garnacho.
Lekon, it's Modric's first full season, though. Remember, he came in January.
He came Compare Modric and compare Garnacho. One first full season. Compare both of them. Who will you pick as the Chelsea fan to be in your team? Just answer that question.
Well, I'm not going to pick. I won't pick Garnacho. I swear. I will not.
You pick Modric over Garnacho. Okay, fine.
I will not pick.
No.
Well, I can't hear you, man. Am I the only one?
Yeah, you're not the only one.
I think it's up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
I said Modric is 22, 21. I don't know his exact age. Garnacho is 19. Who would you pick if you could pick one today? So the silence answers the question. The silence answers the question already. So next topic.
I'll pick Garnacho.
Exactly. So
let's segue into another. We've been talking United for almost more than an hour now. Should we go to
the biggest club in Europe? That's why.
It's okay.
Where do we go next? Should we discuss what's on the screen, or should we go to another club?
We can talk about Chelsea for a bit before we talk about England's
Chelsea does not have manager.
What do you mean?
I don't understand.
We have a new manager, yes. Sorry, but we don't know him, so introduce him to us.
Oh, okay. Who can introduce Maresca to us, please?
That's Faye's department. Faye's not here.
Where's Rolava? You need her.
But to be honest, Reward, my expectations for the new season, pretty much top 4, top 5. If we can get that far, win the Conference League, and I'm good. That's it. I'm not a greedy person. I make my £200 million pivot work. Let's Caicedo and Enzo work. That's all I want. Thank you.
Let me talk about Maresca. So, to me, when I talk about Chelsea matters, it's really funny because I didn't expect. Well, when I say I didn't expect, these are owners. What I like about them is the fact that they know how to spend money. When they want to get something, they know how to spend. But I don't like the strategy, the project, as they call it. I don't like it. The project is, to me, it's bullshit. All this just focusing on signing young players. I don't think it will take time before that kind of thing would work, because they are signing just to build and maybe sell anyone that is promising. I don't like that kind of strategy. I love to win trophies because that's how I've been as a Chelsea fan right from time. Trophies. I don't care who comes in and who walks out. So I followed Enzo. I watched a bit of Leicester games because I'm a strong Vardy fan. So I watched some games. He's a strict manager. You know, he doesn't know how to change plans. He follows one tactics, and that's why they nearly lost the league. They were 15 points clear, and with the same tactics he was using, the defense was leaky, and they almost bottled the league. You know, so at the same time, he knows how to use his midfield. He's very good at midfield game. He knows how to coordinate all that. It's just I don't know. This signing Enzo, it's difficult. I'm telling you, it's difficult. I can't just sit here and say this man is going to. I saw some things he said anyway. It made sense to me. He wants to come and win trophies, but I just don't know. Attacking wise, you're going to do well, but defense, I don't know. Maybe if we sign a good left back, sign a good left back, because I know we're going to sell some people, probably Chalobah.
That's why I laugh at people when they say we have 1,000 center backs and we're still signing more.
Yeah.
Who are these center backs?
Fofana has very much for this.
We can't mention Fofana here, please.
Right now, he has 20 games in 2 years.
I'll say this. I said this. I was saying this in another group 2 days ago. Who are the center backs we have? We have about 5 to 6 center backs. Only one of them has lifted the title. We have 5 center backs who have not won anything in their careers. They've not won anything in their careers. 5 for a club like Chelsea. We just added them to sin, right?
That guy is made. I know you can't confirm me. That guy is made.
I don't understand.
Chalobah is faster than that.
I think that people hype a lot of players. Maybe because he's on a free and he's tall. But that's not enough. It's not enough. If you want to win, you have to sign players who have been there. At least, even if it's one. When Thiago Silva came into Chelsea, that's a classy free transfer. A player who has won it all or won a lot of trophies. That's a classic. This player, okay, he's going to influence, which he did. He came in and we won the Champions League. So Tosin coming in is just like Disasi coming in. He has not done anything. Fulham player came into your club and you're like, so this. He's nothing. This is not, to me, we've not yet started business. When I see that we have started business is when we buy a world-class striker. Not nonsense Jackson that we sign. We buy a serious striker, get a left back, ship out Chilwell, buy a left winger. And let me tell you, I don't rate Olise. Me personally, I don't rate that boy. I'll just tell you for free, I don't rate him at all. He has not done anything to what the hype.
What do you mean?
He has not done anything. This is a player that wasn't he? He was in Man City Academy, right?
Yep.
He passed through Arsenal Academy. He passed through Chelsea's Academy, and he landed in Crystal Palace. That's enough sign for me. He's not done anything anyway right now for me to say, oh, this player will come here and change dynamics and do this one. I know we all criticize Palmer, but he won the man of the match in a Super Cup game. Why? When that's something. Even if we criticize his coming, that's still something to show that this player has something to offer. You know, but if you see the kind of players that we are buying, if you want to buy players as a big club, that's what I believe. You have to buy players who have the zeal to win, or players who have been there before in those top moments. That's the difference between top clubs and Tottenham. Tottenham go and sign players who have not done anything, and then they expect to, they think that a top manager will carry scraps and win titles. So I just think that Enzo Maresca coming in, we have a good midfield anyway. So he will probably use them, but that our defense is my issue. And me hearing that they don't want to replace Robert Sanchez, they want to keep.
I think that's just PR. I think that
has to be PR because
I think it's PR. I think he's leaving.
I personally want us to sign. I want Petrovic to be the second goalkeeper.
Yeah, I think we're going for either Bento or the Marcin Bolka guy, the guy from Nice. So I think those are the two keepers we're going for. But
let me ask you. Do you think this our youth strategy? This one preferring youth like over experience or over winners. Do you think it's how well do you think this strategy will work for us?
Whether it works or not remains to be seen, but it looks like these guys they mean business and they're doubling down on this. I don't think they're changing anytime soon. So we either get on with it or I feel we should just get used to it and move on because I don't think they're changing anytime soon. I know we saw the news of the Rio guy, that 15-year-old guy who was like, he doesn't want to sign an extension. And I get that because for those young players, when they see what's happening, I know the term that flies around is pure profit, right? When you look and see that there isn't a clear path for you into the main team, I mean, with your family, with your agents, and the best bet for you might be to move to another club, right? So it's difficult for these young players to see a clear path. But clearly that's the strategy these guys are going with. And it seems, I don't know if it's working. Only time will tell. But if you feel like we have better chances elsewhere, I mean, take it.
Yeah, I want to add something to that. I think my big issue with recruitment is not that we're signing young players, it's that we're making a lot of mistakes that are very difficult to correct. I'll give an example. We have Disasi that we've signed on a long-term contract.
Oh my God, don't get me started with that.
So he's not performing and he's very difficult to sell.
That was a panic buy.
Yeah,
unnecessary.
And it's just Lawrence Stewart bringing his Monaco guys. He brought Badiashile and Disasi.
Those were the most relegated Monaco.
Exactly. I don't know how. Maybe just relationship. He brought his homies over to enjoy some cool cash and enjoy life in London. Right? We have Disasi we've talked about. We have Fofana, who the ownership group brought in. Did not play enough games. Very difficult to sell. Raheem Sterling, they brought him in, huge wages. We all saw what he did last season. Very difficult to sell.
Sterling is
same ownership group. Sorry?
I said Sterling isn't going anywhere anytime soon.
Exactly, because
sorry to cut you short, but Sterling and Fofana was Tuchel's idea. He was one.
No, I'm not talking about who exactly, whether it's the manager. I'm talking about the ownership group. As long as these signings came under this ownership group, I want to talk about them and put the blame on them, right? Okay. Now, it's the same ownership group that gave Rich James the 250k contract, which I have always been against. Paying players big money. It's not my money, yes, but I've always been against it. And there's nothing that James has done to justify that salary because he is never available. As they say, availability is the best ability. He's not available. We don't see him. We see our captain. Maybe if you see him 10 times a season, we'll thank God, right? Yes, they've done some good things as well, but there are a lot of players that are underperforming and they're very difficult to sell. So what does that mean for us? It means that when we are planning for our squad for next season, we have to factor these players in. If we want to bring in centre back, we have to factor that, Disasi is here to stay. There's nothing we can do about it. Fofana is here as well. Badiashile is here as well. Like, it complicates the situation. And that's my big issue. These long-term contracts, signing young players, it is good. I like it to an extent. But because they've overdone it, we've also put ourselves in a very bad situation with some of these players. I'm looking forward to next year. Yes, Paez, Esteval, all these new shiny toys, they're all coming in. I'm excited. But we can't forget about all the mistakes that the ownership have made in the 2 years that they've been here.
I think if we look at it closely, we can give them some credit because they did a lot of shipping out. Remember all the Koulibaly, the Mendy.
They bought Koulibaly though, but I can understand that.
They're very good. They've shown that they're really good at shipping out players when they want to. So I think we can give them some kudos there because
but when you ship out players, you have to replace that caliber, and that's my issue. When you ship out players who have helped like win titles, I don't think we've replaced that our mid. Anyway, let me say, I don't know how to put it, but I see. Look at it this way: if Enzo and Caicedo had an experienced player like let me say Kovacic or Kante that was in the team, just like how Madrid, how all these Camavinga, Tchouaméni, they have Modric and Kroos one side, mentoring them on how to be better. That's what I like. That's what's better for me. If you have experienced players on the side who are also helping these young players in terms of, let me say, the dressing room and how to be better and all that, that makes more sense. When you fill the team with young players who think alike, you understand? You're not helping them grow. Who wants to knock some sense into Madueke that all this is nonsense shenanigans?
But isn't that what Sterling is there for? Like, what
Sterling?
Sterling experience?
Yeah,
I feel like experience is overrated because Sterling is experienced, and yet he wasn't doing that. He wasn't playing that role. So
yeah, but he can't be the only one.
I think
he's the only one left. Like
we had Silva then. Gallagher. I don't know if Gallagher. I can call Gallagher.
Gallagher.
26, 27. No.
What has Gallagher done that makes him experienced? What has he done?
He's our captain.
I promise you. Unlike media, let's be realistic. If we sell Gallagher, we will miss him. This is the truth.
Gallagher is 24.
I wouldn't mind if he stays, but I feel like people are taking it too far.
We are too stuck in the midfield position. We haven't even seen Lavia play, right? Santos, I don't know if he's going back on loan. There's the Ugochukwu guy, right? And with the way, nobody really knows what formation or style of play this Maresca guy, but I feel like he likes his 3 in midfield, right? So I don't see a place for Gallagher, honestly. So I feel like he can go.
I just think because of the way they sign players, they can actually do better. You see, they just sign him for signing's sake. Sometimes I love the fact that they want to spend money, but just at least what was the rationale for signing Sanchez, like Robert Sanchez?
I honestly feel
who was rejected and sent to the
I feel like that was a deal to sweeten the Caicedo deal.
But there was no sweetener at the end of the day. We still paid full price. That's what I'm saying. Like these guys, they keep making too many mistakes.
We were so stupid.
Like, what was it? Okay, now Ugochukwu signing. What was the point? We already signed Lavia.
Watch wanted height now. He wanted a tall midfielder, and we got him that.
See, let me tell you what's happening. They are doing guesswork. They want to sign all the top talents they can, then bin the ones that are not going to be successful, and then sell the ones that make it. It's more like a grooming. We're like a glorified Leipzig right now. We're just trying to sign any player that shines, any player that is under 21 or 21, 22 that just makes any good stuff. We go for them to sign them, regardless of what they've done. That's what we're doing. Like this Estevoa boy now. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, but I've tried. I've really tried. I've watched games. I said I'm going to watch him. And watch him. And I've been watching. See, watching Brazil League, it's an eyesore. They are terrible. But I told myself, I promised myself I'm going to watch. I'm 3 games in now. I promise you, I've not seen anything.
Watched for a while. You're trying.
I've not seen anything. No, I've watched 3 games. I've not seen anything. No, they call him Messinho. This boy is not even Saka level. I'm sorry.
You know that Rio guy, the Rio Gamoa, whatever.
Oh my God!
Guy in our academy. I feel like that guy is way better than this Estaval and the other guy and the Paez guy. Honestly, if you watch that Rio guy, the 15-year-old in our academy, because he plays for the under-21s and he's 15. If that guy was a Brazilian, I'm sure we'll be paying like 50 million for that guy.
He trained with the first team as well.
Yeah.
At some point.
Yeah. It's just I don't understand the crave or the rave about Chuck said Paez is on another
level. No, Paez, I can vouch for that. That boy is good. That boy is good.
I've watched Paez. Like if you watch a player that has potential, you just know. So like when I watched the games that Estaval played, I watched like there were 2. The last 2 I watched, Hendrick played as well. You can see Hendrick, you can see what he's doing. You know this player is a good player. Like he's getting into the ball, trying to make some moves and all that. Estaval is not yet right. Maybe he can be good in the future, but right now, I think if he comes to Chelsea, the likeliness of him going on a loan is very high.
Do you think this guy starts for Chelsea currently?
Paez is good. I've watched like a game or 2. He's good. The boy knows what he's doing. That's why he's going to play for these guys in the Copa America. The boy is good.
Okay.
Estaval is not. Estaval is not.
This call is recorded, so we'll come back.
Fine, but I will just say for myself that Estaval is not ready. He's still too fragile. He's very fragile right now. He cannot. He knows he has the idea of what he wants to do, but he can't seem to get past his man at all. He can't seem to. Also, I like based on my own general analysis, I feel like the tactics in that team does not help him too. But
wait, so is Paez joining the team this summer or?
Yeah, 2025 next year.
Oh,
I think next.
Yeah, he joins next year. Both of them are arriving next year.
Interesting. Okay. Well, let's segue into strikers because I feel like that's a more.
Yeah. So okay. I want to talk about Sesko, right? Because the first time I ever watched Sesko was that preseason friendly against Liverpool.
Yeah.
Because when there's no football, you're bored. You watch anything that's available. And I'll be honest with you, I saw this boy and I was like, nah, this guy is the truth. This guy is the truth. Who is this kid? Like, Sesko has the potential. He has the potential. And he gives us something different. You know, he's very good in the air. He's a proper ball striker. Like, he has a very good technique when it comes to striking the ball. And it's something different to Jackson. We all know that Jackson, outside of the box, he's a very good player. His hold-up play is good. He can drive. But when he gets around the box, that's where his brain now starts to tell him where to miss. And that's my issue with Jackson. I think Sesko, for me, would be an ideal pick. It's very difficult because we're not the only ones. There's Arsenal. To be honest, even though I'm a Chelsea fan, if you present the Chelsea project and the Arsenal project, I will not lie to you, I'll pick the Arsenal project. It's looking like it's making more sense. Playing behind Saka, Odegaard, it just makes a lot more sense to me. But that's my side.
What do you think about Alvarez? So if you had to pick between Sesko and Alvarez, who would you prefer?
There's a thing about Alvarez because he's Prem proven. But I have an issue with that Prem proven, this tag, because all you need to be Prem proven is to actually play the league and deliver to an extent. So I don't like to factor it when I'm considering someone that hasn't had the opportunity to play in the league. I will pick Sesko as my number 1 pick, then Alvarez as a close second. And that's because Alvarez is a bit similar to Jackson. I want a completely different profile. Alvarez has a variety with his goals. He scores headers, he scores free kicks, he scores long shots. He has variety, which is an advantage. Sesko also has variety as well. So for me, Sesko first. Yeah.
You can say with short.
I'll send you my. I'm just giving you like
short. Just saying.
Since when has height become was Aguero tall?
I just knew you were going to bring Aguero.
Was Jermaine tall?
So yeah, the height thing, I get your point. And Alvarez has proven so far that the height is not restricting him, right? And I'll give him that.
We are making this height. Please, is Jackson not 6'2"?
leave that one now. We all know.
What happened to the Osimhen conversation?
Now, Osimhen is not coming because financially it doesn't make sense. There's no need to even stress it. So it's best we go for an Alvarez that we know, he's going to be cheaper than Osimhen. We know what he has done in the Premier League, or Sesko, he has potential and all of that. Osimhen will be 100 million plus and 250k, 300k in wages. No, that's too much.
Well, to me,
just to state it, right? Last season Jackson had 14 goals in Premier League, and Alvarez had 11. So I don't know if that's
but let's put it into context. Like Alvarez played behind Haaland at the start of the season when KDB was unavailable. He was coming in from the bench when everyone was fit and Haaland was started. So that also plays a part, and we need to give him.
He played a lot of minutes though. Like he played, I think he started like 31. I think he was the third highest City player in terms of minutes, but he wasn't necessarily the number 9 at all the times he came on. He was always playing from different areas, left, right, 10, right? So he wants to be the number 1 guy. I feel like that's what he can get at Chelsea. Again, and despite all that, he still managed 31 goals and assists in the season in all competitions. Jackson isn't going near that. So I don't think it's just look at what we have on the screen. Chelsea fans are just, in fact, I can't deal. Someone had the guts to say Jackson has more potential and is arguably better right now than Alvarez. Does that even make any sense?
It makes zero sense. I do not agree. We know Jackson. We saw him just how many months ago. Come on. Reward, there's even the clip of the Senegal game.
Oh, yeah.
He missed the chance. Like, we all know what Jackson can do. Jackson has potential, yes, but right now he's not better than Alvarez. Come
on.
All right, let's go to Arsenal.
No, wait, let me say something about the striker stuff. Personally, I know, you asked Sesko and Alvarez, right?
Yep.
But the person I want is Isak.
You know that's not happening, though.
I know, but I also know that Newcastle they have FFP issues and they are bound to sell someone. I know that Bruno is the one who...
Guimaraes.
I know Bruno is the one who is, but I'm just saying, if there's a chance that they decide to keep Bruno and Chelsea decides to bring in money, they would probably sell him. And I would want the guy. But anyways, until then, if between Sesko and Alvarez, it's funny. But I heard Ebuka talk about Sesko. And everything he discussed about Sesko, I just had a flashback to 2020. And that was the same way I was describing Werner. I was hyping him as one goal. I was a winner stan. Let me use that word. I was hyping this guy he was this, he's that. That time we had this, you bring out graphs and all this and say, this player, I watched watch Bundesliga games. I was proposing this and that until he came. So I feel like I think this Sesko guy would suit Arsenal team better than Chelsea. I don't think he's going to suit us. He plays in that front two kind of style, can drift to the wing at times. I just have my reservations about him. I would prefer Alvarez. Alvarez is more direct. It's just that Pep makes him play AM, but he's more direct. Can score, can do our stuff. Don't get me wrong. Anyway,
but then again,
I agree with.
How is Alvarez different from Nkunku that we have?
Nkunku?
Yeah. I know we haven't really seen Nkunku, but isn't that the same profile?
That's the thing. We haven't really seen Nkunku. He has barely not done anything. He has just been injured throughout, and he has not done anything. And it's just that I don't just like the Sesko idea. That's it. I would prefer if someone else comes into the picture, I would prefer it because you see this argument about height that we were talking about. Somehow I agree with. I don't know who said it about who spoke about the height. Alvarez is very short. He's shorter than Aguero. Do you know? He's shorter than Aguero. Let's be honest. He's shorter than Aguero. He can't head.
But he's costed us.
Yeah, how many? How many
Jackson,
does he score?
Jackson is 6'2" and he scored more headers than Jackson.
But see, let me tell you, just see Jackson. There's no need for us to have a debate. He's useless. That's just it. And when I don't even understand how we even thought about signing this guy that he's going to like improve the team. I don't just understand it. When I think about it, I'm like, how did we even come about signing Jackson and thinking he's going to?
But to be fair, we also Jackson in preseason, and he looked like a real player. He looked fantastic.
And then what happened? And what happened in the next season? The coach changed tactics, right? Coach contributed to our disaster. He changed tactics. He started using 3 at the back after the nice preseason that we had all that. But
what do you think about this Lukaku to Napoli? I think they bid about 15 million plus add-ons.
See, I would like to let's just take the money and move on. I'll be honest.
Oh, why do we have to take the money from all these Italian cheapskates?
That's just how it is.
Always do this. Why?
That's just how it is.
38 million, I think. I think one's saying for about 30 something.
Yeah, but they are bidding 15.
15 euros. It's not even pounds. Euros.
They will still increase it, sure. Like, I think I'm going to sell him for more than that. I mean, Conte wants him. Napoli wants him. So
why can't we just do a Osimhen Lukaku swap?
They don't want to.
How old is Osimhen?
Osimhen is 25 now.
Okay.
He fits the criteria, but they don't want Osimhen because of the wages.
I would prefer Osimhen to this Sesko guy. See my issue here. My issue here is I don't understand what this board wants. I don't understand what they want. You see a player who can actually deliver, but you are like, I don't know, what's their reservations about some players? How they struck Osimhen out of the equation. They just struck him out. It's like he doesn't exist anymore. Like they basically said, we're not going for Osimhen. That one is out of the deal. Like I don't understand it. Honestly, Osimhen is not a bad option. I never wanted him anyway. I preferred some other people to him, but I would take him over all these Calvert-Lewin names I'm hearing. Calvert-Lewin,
that's just stupid.
All these names I'm hearing. Muniz. I'm even hearing Muniz and this Duron guy. I'm hearing stupid names. I'm like, what?
You know what? If Sesko chooses Arsenal, I really see them going real deep for this Alvarez guy.
Alvarez guy is
yeah.
I'm hearing things. So.
Yeah, but my fear is if that doesn't happen, the alternatives are just mid. Like, what is this Duran guy from Villa that I'm hearing?
Duran guys.
And I even had that exactly kind of profile they like. I really see them doing that kind of deal.
See, we are just right signings away from winning trophies. Our issue right now is signing rubbish players. That's our issue. If we can get our signings right, I think we're going to do very well, like very, very well. And anyways, I don't know. I don't even know what to expect next season. The only thing I know is that we have to win a trophy next season. That Conference League, it should be locked in. There's no excuse for losing the Conference League.
I think we should bow out of the league, honestly.
Bow out how?
Like a trophy is a trophy.
We don't need that. We don't need that kind of trophy.
I don't care. Let's win it. Let's win it at least. Let's complete it.
Let's focus on what matters. I don't think
we'll be better than Arsenal.
That competition is a disgrace.
Well, even if it's in the Conference League, we're still better than Arsenal.
Let's focus on what's that one? The World Club Cup or whatever.
Club Cup.
Let's focus on. There's money there, so let's focus on that one instead.
Do you know the clubs that are there?
It doesn't matter. We are Chelsea.
Fair enough. It doesn't matter. So,
anyways, let's quickly talk about Arsenal. What's even happening in Arsenal these days? Who knows?
Let me say something about Arsenal. I think there is this. See, the media has really done more harm than good, in my opinion. Really done more harm than good. Because when I think about the fact that Arsenal has gone 4 straight seasons without a trophy, and everybody's acting as if they are like Barcelona or Madrid, it's just funny. I mean, they have a project, right? They brought in Arteta. He won the FA Cup. And since then, they've been pumping money, trying to sign players. And then after all the signings, they haven't really done well. But after every season, it's as if they were spectacular. No trophy, but then everybody's celebrating. Everybody's happy. They're just happy that, okay, after all, we are here. We are second. It's like a good thing. They renew people's contracts. Fans are celebrating. We have Arteta. I just think that they are, settling for the bare minimum. At least I think so as a Chelsea fan, because I know that during our time, coming second was like a disaster. You get sacked for coming second. So when I see that they celebrate,
like progress.
I know people will argue that they have this project. They are building a good team, but how long? I always ask this question. If you want to use patience as an excuse, how long do you get patience before you start complaining about things? How long do you sit down and say, okay, we are building a team, and it will take to this time, then I'll start complaining about performance of the team? How long? Arteta has had 5 seasons and just won 1 FA Cup. So where is the improvement when you bottle the league every season? The fans try to use Man City as an excuse. Man City spend money. You just spend 700 million on signing. So what's the excuse for not winning? And why is it that whenever you lose, the fan base is pampering the coach, they're hugging and celebrating second, celebrating bottling, going out of cups and every competition. They're happy. They're just happy to be there. Like, I just feel like that's their standard to me. I don't think there's any big deal there. I don't want to see myself as an Arsenal fan because I would never celebrate all these things. Honestly, it's below the expected. You are expected to win, not just to have to be happy being there, happy finishing second. That's that's my opinion anyway. Yeah.
I don't think there's any Arsenal fan here to rebuild, to give a rebuttal to that.
I think I said this earlier already. Arsenal invested 200 million and are still nowhere close to where Man City is.
200? I thought it was like 700. They've spent like 700 million.
It's 700 million. 700 million.
Yeah.
And
700 million.
700.
Now you see how much investment needs by top club for the big teams to actually just win that Premier League. Man, it's not easy.
It's Pep. Once Pep leaves, I feel like we'll have.
Let me tell you something. I believe, I know this will cause like problem, but I believe that if Arteta was under some pressure, or the club, if the ownership had maybe sacked him, I think they'd have won something. I think these days people are too emotional over managers. Like, you want to hold on to a manager for too long just because he's just going on the right tide. There is this long holding on to managers. If you don't perform well, you should be criticized. You should be scrutinized or even sacked. It doesn't change the future. I think just imagine let me use an example. When Ancelotti was in Chelsea and he finished second, he had a great season anyways, but he finished second and he was sacked. And it looked like it was the end of the world. What happened the next season? Chelsea won the Champions League. So these are things that I don't understand it. Other big clubs do it. Madrid, they sign big managers. They don't perform well the next season. They sack them immediately and they still move on. So they are holding on to this man too much just because he's hanging on there. That's what they did to Wenger. They sacked him late. They should have sacked Wenger. If they wanted to sack him, they should have sacked him a long time ago. He was just managing the squad, using youth, winning the FA Cups, and that was enough for them. And then when he now came 8th or so, they sacked him and started bringing in managers, and still no improvement. 1 FA Cup since then. So.
Anyways, let's see how it goes. Guys, I think we need to. Ibuka, anything else, or can we put a hard stop here?
I just wanted to finally ask. I think just to piggyback on this conversation about Arteta, who are the top managers in the market right now?
Top? I don't know about top, but maybe Tuchel.
Let's say Arteta goes tomorrow. Who has now bringing?
Maybe a Xavi.
Xavi.
You don't like Xavi?
What has Xavi done to even be able to step into that Emirates Stadium?
Let me answer that question.
He's won stuff. Arteta hasn't won shit.
Let me answer that question. What has Xavi done? Xavi has won a league title. He won the league when he came to Barca. I think he won the Copa del Rey as well. I can't remember.
He's won title.
He won the league.
Arteta hasn't won shit.
See, this is my issue, right? There is this feeling that's why what did Buka say again? He said something about PL Premier League being Premier League. What's that word he used again? Being Premier League proven. Yeah. It's rubbish. Why is it? There is this mentality that football is only peak in England. It's just funny to me. You know, you have to play yourself in England. It's not Haaland that came to England and his first season he scored 36 goals. His first season, 36 goals in England. In the same England that everybody say you have to prove yourself, you have to do this, you have to do that. Arteta has only won an FA Cup in 5 seasons at Arsenal. Xavi has won the league and he only spent 3 seasons at Barca. He won the league and I think the Copa del Rey. I think so. I can't remember. But I know he won the league. So automatically to me, he's better than Arteta. He's better than Arteta automatically. So if Arteta has not done anything, why is it that Xavi, replacing Arteta is such a bizarre move? And yes, there are managers out there that can come in and do well. There are managers that are jobless right now. I know who else? Who is jobless? Allegri. Does he have a job?
No,
Allegri does not have a job, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't have a job. I know, yeah, people will say, oh, even Sarri is jobless, right?
Yeah.
Right now, he's jobless. If you want a manager, top clubs go out and, get a manager from his contract and to come and coach them. Wasn't Ten Hag an Ajax manager before Man United went for him? If you want a manager, you go and get him. It's just how it is. There are so many clubs that keep on replacing managers. Madrid, maybe they came for Ancelotti. He resigned. He didn't even waste time. He resigned from Everton and went back to where he's supposed to be. So if they want to get a quality manager, they will. That's why when I see Bayern fans defending hiring company, I just laugh. Like, your best is company. Your best, the best you can have is company.
Everybody seems to be obsessed with Pep.
The best you can hire is company. Oh.
Everybody wants someone who's worked with Pep. I don't know. Like, it looks like there's a shift in football these days.
It's the same with Chelsea, and I will keep on saying it. We had a chance to hire good managers who had like better managers, but we used our project to chase them away. We chased Flick away. We chased Nagelsmann away. Then we went and hired a manager who has built his career on resenting trophies. And then see what happened. He has been sacked. So these are the things. There are managers out there. If you want them, you hire them. See Barca. Should they've sacked him? They just sacked Xavi now, and they replaced him with Flick.
Yeah.
That's something. Nobody's going to complain about you replacing Xavi with another serial winner. Nobody's going to complain about that. So it's just that if you want a good manager, you're going to get one. Tuchel does not have a job now, does he? No. If they still want him, they can still go for him. There's no.
No worries. All right, guys. I think we'll end it here. This was just like a test run. We're trying to. This is a new platform, Playback, and I feel like it's more interactive. It's better than Twitter Spaces. So this is something we'll be doing more often going forward, especially with the Euros coming. So expect more on this space. Yeah. So I think we'll do like a Euro review before Friday, the deadline, because I think Euro starts on Friday, right? So we'll do something before that where we'll like go through each of the teams and have our predictions and stuff like that. So keep your notifications on and yeah, expect good things from us. Thanks everyone for coming and have a lovely rest of your day. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.